free Palestine and vote yes for the resolution, and I thank you so much.
You can see exactly what you are inflicting upon the UN Charter with this destructive vote. You are shredding the UN Charter.
In a bold act of defiance, Israeli Ambassador Gilad Erdan made a powerful statement at the United Nations General Assembly by tearing apart the UN Charter just before the passage of a resolution advocating for the full membership of Palestine. The resolution, which urged the Security Council to grant Palestine full membership despite its current observer status, received overwhelming support with 143 votes in favor, including India's, while 9 nations, including the US and Israel, opposed it. Ambassador Erdan denounced the resolution as a blatant violation of the UN Charter and criticized its undermining of the US veto in the Security Council. He symbolically held up the torn remains of the Charter, emphasizing his condemnation and urging the General Assembly to reconsider its actions.
Today, another travesty is being committed here by the General Assembly, an unforgivable act. The destruction of the United Nations Charter. The UN Charter, the sacred document which serves as the foundation of everything we are supposed to do here, is being trampled upon. It is being thrown out the window. You are spitting on the very values that were formulated to bind this organization. With today's destructive resolution, you are circumventing the Security Council, ignoring its decision, and violating the norms this organization has abided by. You know that the Palestinians are the exact opposite of peace-loving. You know this. Since they rejected the UN partition plan in 1947, they rejected it. They have only tried to destroy Israel time and again. They are terror-loving, not peace-loving. They are anything but peace-loving. Not a single Palestinian leader, not even one, has condemned the October 7th massacre. He calls the Hamas his brothers. As long as so many of you are Jew-hating, you don't really care that the Palestinians are not peace-loving.
He also alleged that the resolution opens up the UN for modern-day Nazis, referring to Hamas. At the end of my speech, I tore the UN Charter to pieces to illustrate what the Assembly is doing in its support for the entry of Palestinian terrorism into the UN. Erdan later posted on X.
You are shredding the UN Charter with your own hands.
The United Nations General Assembly recently passed a resolution proposed by the UAE, which grants new privileges to the Palestinian Authority as a non-member observer state. The resolution calls for the UN Security Council to reconsider the matter favorably regarding Palestinian membership. Israel's Foreign Minister, Israel Katz, criticized the resolution, labeling it as an absurd decision that underscores the UN's structural bias. Katz argued that the resolution rewards the actions of Hamas, particularly following their actions on October 7, which he referred to as the largest massacre of Jews since the Holocaust. He further stated that the decision to upgrade the status of Palestinians at the UN serves as a reward for Hamas terrorists, suggesting that it conveys the message that violence is rewarded. Following the passage of the resolution, Palestinian Envoy Riyad Mansour announced the Palestinian Authority's intention to seek full membership from the Security Council. However, the US has issued a warning signaling its likely veto of such a request, similar to its veto of an earlier Palestinian membership bid in April. In the recent past, the US exercised its veto power to block a UN Security Council resolution proposing statehood for Palestine. The veto resulted in a 12-1 outcome, with the US casting the sole vote and 2 abstentions. Consequently, the UNSC did not adopt the draft resolution, which aimed to recommend to the General Assembly to conduct a vote involving the broader UN membership for Palestine's full UN member state status. According to UN protocols, for a draft resolution to pass, the UNSC requires at least 9 members in favor, with none of its permanent members, that is China, France, Russia, the UK and the US, utilizing their veto power.
Subscribe to One India channel and never miss an update.